What's up? Hello, dog. I just stepped on you. It's Saturday night at the house here. Been playing around out here all day. Mowed the lawn for the first time. I just hit my shin on that hitch. That was fun. Prince, tell him hey. Tell him hey. Say what's up. Yeah, dude. So, god dang, it hurt my freaking shin. I'm gonna run this super pump a little bit. Show you guys what we got. So, went to the shop today playing around, loaded the skid up. This is my little demo testing skid. It's not really a skid, it's just a tank and a hose reel. And this is what I've done the majority of the super pump kind of function testing. I got hiccups too. We went to Auburn and ate some Mexican. It was good. So have to have something to run it off of. All the different prototypes that have came in and went out, and tweaks and adjustments. And guys, we are really close. Really close. So I rebuilt this one Friday. Fresh motor. Nothing wrong with the other one. I just took another motor and built it all out. It's not completed. You guys see the plate back here, this plate here. There's a control box that goes on there, and those are on the way. They may be here Monday or Tuesday. The box itself will mount here. You see the bolt holes, and then the electronics go inside that box. So there's two versions of the super pump. You guys probably know that. What's up, TCs? What's up, California? The standard version of the super pump just has a relay, okay, and it's just an on and off pump. Now, a lot of guys are going to want the motor control version, which is the nicer one, and it's got the same looking box that mounts right here on the inside, right here in this little pocket. But either way you go, so the standard variant, the box will look the same. The way you can tell is the box that goes there will have a knob on the top or not. If it doesn't have a knob, that means it's the relay version, which is just on and off. And then I've already had dudes saying, well, that ain't no good, you can't use it like that. Yeah, you can. Like every other Softwash pump ever was on and off. As soon as we roll out a variable power, then that's become suddenly like immediately the new, it has to be that. No, it's nice if it's that, but it doesn't have to be that. And then guys, remember, you can vary your output by just modulating at the gun. But if you're going to do that for a long period of time, if you want the controllability version, then get the one with the motor controller. Those are not even available right now. They will be on the site when we start launching these out of the building here pretty soon. Fulfilling all the pre-orders and starting to put them on equipment, then the site will go in and update the site to have both variants. The standard control and the speed control version will be on the site as well. So you'll be able to pick which one you want. Now the motor control, speed control one is a little more expensive, and that's just, you know, that's just what it is. Like, you got to pay for the electronics. But this thing is putting out so much torque and power. You guys that are in the know, you'll recognize this pressure switch. This particular pressure switch is used on several different pumps out there, all kinds of pumps, RV pumps, all kinds of electric pumps. And we have never had a problem out of this brand, this pressure switch. So they're great. I went with that on purpose, because if you start going into product development, you can make your own, I mean, you can put whatever pressure switch you want on there. But we've had a lot of experience with that pressure switch, and they're pretty freaking rock solid. So, you know, that's great. It's already a thing. We don't have to invent a pressure switch. There's no point doing that. No problems that I know of out of these forever. But this pressure switch cannot handle on its own the torque load that's coming through this motor from the power standpoint, amp draw. So it's got to have some additional electronics in that box to help it on startup and shut off. So it says what's the GPM of the one right here, and they're all 16 gallons a minute on the big version, this version right here, Sweet 16. So this exact same pump with the motor control variability you'll be able to dial that up and down, but the top end is still going to be 16 gallons a minute. So like this one here is just an analog version. Now I could take it and put the standard relay box on here, just on and off, or I could put the motor control version on here. They'll both interface to this mounting plate the same. So we may offer that as well. I'm not sure yet. This the Hudson valve, it sounds like a beluga whale. It's filling up and stopping off. We've got like really good water pressure here on this house. So yeah, it's I'm not sure if we'll offer just the motor controllers as a standalone thing, you know. So if you got the standard pump and then later you wanted to get the motor controller version, I don't know that we will offer that by itself. I don't know yet, so it's a possibility. So what up, Wilson? I'm fixing to fire this thing up. So what I was trying to get at, I got sidetracked in the comments, is this one is not a working, it's just not wired up. This pressure switch is not wired up. It's just on here for looks on this prototype. So I can cut this on, and I've got a zip tie on the gun there, because if I let off that gun, it doesn't have a way on this particular one to stop itself off. So as soon as I get my electronics in, I'm gonna set this one up as a for real super pump. There is a few, like one or two out there in the wide world on skids running. So let me cut it on. I'm gonna flip the wand around. I'm probably fixing to get soaking ass wet. Let me pull some hose off. I should have done this in the daylight where y'all can see. So yeah, the zip tie right there is important. If you let off on it without a functioning pressure switch, it ain't like nothing's going. You might cause a leak or something, but so trying to hold a phone, sending out any free demo pumps. Hell no. I don't do free shit. You can buy that shit. I don't need nobody to demo it. I done demoed it my damn self. Always somebody trying to get something free. That shit annoys me. Quit being cheap. Look at him. Yeah. Prince is made an appearance because he is wanting me to spray him. So I will oblige him. I'll pay for the shipping. I'm just messing with you, bro. Damn, dog, you want me to spray? You're not. Dude, you're a stupid dog. He wants me to spray him. Now he don't want me to spray him. I swear I'm not making this up. That dog will stand right here and let you spray him in the face for hours. And I'm gonna do it on camera, and he runs off and acts like I'm trying to kill him. What are you doing, bro? You know you love this. Look, he's trying to go after it. There he goes. He's an idiot. He done broke my damn street lamp, knocked the top off of it. I hosed off the mower earlier. So this thing's got a lot of power. So we can get 80 feet in the shop, you know, arcing it. So here's the pea gravel. Yeah, dude. Like, we can cut a trench in this pea gravel here. See that? I can get a little more PSI out of this with the standard Softwash one, because it's making a 90, you know, right here at the end. You lose a little bit of ass, but the convenience of the trigger gun is nice. So this house is, yeah, I know you can't see it. I need to get Preston to come out here and hold the flashlight. But I'm shooting over the house. This is just a one story. Shooting into the night with some mean mosquito. It's just fun, dude. I be just trying to find stuff to spray. Like, hey, I can spray that. Spray that dog right there. Come here, dog. Come here. You're being weird. being super strange. It's really good on the cone pattern with this gun, you know, to wrench bushes and stuff. Just throwing out a ton of volume. But you still got a lot of operating pressure for wrenching, which is what you want. Now, we want to stay in the realm of soft washing, not trying to get, you know, hundreds of PSI, because you don't need that. What you need is a cannon with the right amount of knockdown power. It's fun. With this, the super pump on this roof, if I was doing the whole roof, like no time at all. I know y'all can't see, but god dang, I'm shooting to the end of the house out here. It's I mean, it's 80 feet in the shop. You get like 77 on camera because the way the shop is built. Let me flip my camera around. This is kind of cool if I can show you this. Like, I can't show you this. If I hold it by the hose, look, I'm holding it by the hose and it just immediately makes a turn, which, you know, that ain't super stiff, but it's like, no, it ain't. Let's hold it up straight. No, ain't gonna do it. It's like trying to hang on to a freaking fire hose. It's got some pushback in your hand. Check this out. So I'll get down a little bit on the gun. I know the camera work here is kind of insane, but look, it'll just set in your hand because it's pushing back in my hand. But again, it's not enough to hurt nothing. You know, you want to stay in the range there, the sweet spot of enough pressure to wrench. Let me shut it off, but not so much pressure. God almighty, let me cut the light back. Oh Lord, not so much pressure that you're knocking oxidation off and penetrating windowsills and stuff like that. Are they available yet? They've been available since August for pre-order, but we're really getting close here to fulfilling all the pre-orders and having them, you know, in mass. I hesitate to give any kind of guesstimate, but I've got all the parts at the shop except like 2 things. So we're waiting on the motors because they are custom motors, waiting on those to land at the shop. We're assembling these ourselves at the shop. All my other parts are there except just like 1 or 2 little doodad things that should be in next week. None of the big parts. All the big stuff's here. It's cool, dude. It's cool. How do you feel about California? Well, California's gay, but, you know, we would never build an electric pressure washer. We just don't have an interest in it, but they do exist. If you need to get one, BE Power Equipment, they have electric pressure washers, but they're really like pressure. It's probably not something that, with this, you kind of don't need it. So this is a really nice thing for the California guys because this will do what they're trying to do. And let me open the box and show you what we're running it off of. This is not needed, but it's nice. This is a 24 volt single bank, 200 amp hour lithium. And it'll run this pump for days on end. You don't have to have that if you've got just 2 deep cycle 12 volts wired together. You can do it that way. You can do it if you've got an inverter in your truck, then whatever you make 24 volts with ain't really ever matter because you're charging on the go. But if you're like me, I'm at least going to want 100 amp hours of 24 volts, and I feel better about 200 amp hours. But here's the cool thing, man. These batteries they're a little pricey if you want to go like the all-out route like this. But the cool thing is they pay for themselves in the first year, and they have a 10-year warranty on the lithiums. So there's a lot of benefits of going lithium. You don't have the drop-off like you do on regular batteries. These will just run until they're dead. Constant output, you know, the same. So that's nice. And then the 10-year warranty on these means you don't have to touch your power supply for 10 years. So think about if you were to get a gas powered pump. To get this same kind of performance, you get a gas powered pump. How much are you spending a day on fuel? You know, it's like 10 bucks a day. So that's 50 bucks a week. So that's 200 bucks a month. Well, damn, you could have bought a battery pretty quickly and been done with it, and then had to not go to the gas station for a decade. That's a big game changer. So it says the Remco pumps die out pretty quick, averaging about a month per pump. How will replacement work with super pump? Should we have a spare as well? The super pump's a little more pricey than a Remco, so you know a lot of guys are not going to sit on a spare. I would tell you to, but I get it because it's not cheap like a 12 volt. If your Remco pumps are only lasting a month, you're probably doing something wrong, my dude. Because I can get a year out of a 12 volt pump. Okay, and that's me taking care of it. We had a guy come to the shop Thursday, pulled up in there, you know, begging for help. Okay, you go out there, you're rinsing his pump out? Yeah. Pull the barb, smell just like bleach. So if you're not taking care of them and you're only getting a month, you should be shooting for about 3 to 4 months. That's pretty average, but I've got a lot of my customers that have gotten, you know, 8 to 10 months out of a Remco or any of those good quality 12 volts like that. But if you're only getting a month, something's not right in your processes for sure. Some guys in the chat here can kind of chime in. I'm looking to get, you know, 5 or 6 months out of a pump. But here's the thing, on those cheapy ones, I don't really give a shit. If they go out in 2 months, it ain't even enough of a blip on my money radar for me to really care. But I get what you're saying. On the super pump, it's a little more expensive, but here's the redeeming saving grace for the broke dude if he wants to get into a super pump. We're going to be selling the head kits too, and those will be very affordable. So what I would do is, well, what I would do is get a super pump and get a spare super pump and get a head kit. And then you're set up right. But if you can't afford that second backup complete pump, I get it. Just get you the head kit. And then, you know, if you have a problem 2 months in, 3 months in, whatever, just change your head kit out. It's 15-minute process and you're right back up and running. And you could probably do that 2 or 3 times with a complete motor assembly, and then it'll be time to buy a new pump. Now, that ain't me like making promises. Here's the deal. I can't, because there's so many different dudes, and like you're saying, you get in a month, but the average dude's probably getting 4 or 5 months, you know, if he's a 2-3 year veteran and he really knows kind of how to take care of his pumps. So it's not uncommon for rookie guys to sort of go through a pump a month like that. And if you're brand new, then, you know, don't feel bad because that's kind of normal, but you'll learn to kind of get more longevity out of the systems. Ben Wilson's in here. Let's look at the chat, right? Look, Clint Troyani's in there. Like some of the guys, they're telling you the same thing I'm telling you. If we give a damn, we can get a year out of one. So here's the predicament that puts me in. Cody knows damn well that this super pump should last a dude a year, but it's dude to dude. You see what I'm saying? So like, there's a part of me that wants to put a guarantee and a warranty on here, but I would just literally rather die, because that's going to open up a can of worms of the rookie guys, and the rookie dude really actually in his heart feels like something went wrong with the pump. That ain't the gospel truth. Truth is he probably nuked it, but he don't know that, and so he's coming at us sideways, and y'all know how I am. Like, I don't play that shit. I don't have a lot of grace for that, so I'm just not going to put any kind of guarantee on it. But tongue in cheek, we could get 20 of us that know these. The concept here is well proven, right? Electric motor, this type of system. Now, nobody's ever come close to getting what we're doing. It's a lot of custom to get this kind of performance, but the heart of it has been around for 20 years, and so we know what we can expect out of electric pumps on average. So that's a long roundabout way of saying what I was trying to say. I want to put a warranty on them, but I ain't gonna do it because I just know how guys are. Yeah, and you know what? I've had good quality pumps from reputable companies, Remcos and stuff, go bad in a month, like legit. And I know that I took care of them just as well as I did any of the other ones. So you can have anomalies, but on those, they're cheap, you know, well, it's whatever. But these are a little more pricey. Ben Wilson, yeah, bro. That blue gun is the one I've been running on the Super 8 because I can put it on this skid as well. And when I'm out playing with both of them, we're still in early kind of messing around with Super 8. So I actually will put it up there on those studs and plug it into the same Anderson port right there. And I can just unplug that one, plug the Super 8 in there, and then I can spray with it, testing both of them on different setups. But yeah, Ben's about right. I did the math on electricity. It's costing, if you figure out your kilowatt hours and what you pay in your area, it's going to run you about, there's nowhere in the country that it'll be more than $1 a day. And that's like a day running this thing like a champ. So it literally, the pump and the battery, you're in it, if you got like the bougie batteries, you're in it for the same thing you would have been getting an AR, 45 type system. Okay, upfront cost is almost identical, but the maintenance is much easier and your daily operating cost is much easier. And when it goes down, you're not super mad at looking at exploded diagrams and hoping to God that somebody's got a part in stock. You see what I'm saying? So it's a much better long game play. Yeah, Sweet 16 is going to need 3/4 inch hose. This is 3/4 hose, and then the Super 8 will run 5/8 hose just fine. Dude, I appreciate y'all. We got great customers. Yeah, the tank's full. I hate that. It sounds like a flute. I'll cut it back on here in a second. Yeah, cuz if I take this hose off, it'll deplete that tank in no time. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. I'm telling you. Let me check the chat here again. Yeah, dudes, if you want to get one, go ahead and get it on pre-order because I'm going to be fulfilling the pre-orders first. We're building 100 super pumps in the shop, and I'll probably turn around and build another lot myself in the shop. So that we've got a good many on pre-order, and that's going to basically eat up most of that first 100 to get all those guys taken care of. So if you want to get one, I know, I ain't big on pre-ordering shit either. I'm the same way. I'd wait for it to come out. That's me. I got it. So if you have one on pre-order, you're going to get it pretty soon. If you want to wait till they're like in stock, it's going to be a little bit because they're still tooling up a lot of hardware and parts and things getting custom made. It's just slower than you ever think it would be, to manufacture something like this. The valve took a long time. This is taking longer. Ben, hope your trailer's turning out good, my dude. I saw some photos of it. It looks really good. When it goes bad, typically replace pressure switch. FJ Civic talking about the pumps dying too soon. What that could be is you could have too much restriction in your discharge size, your discharge hose diameter, or something on the discharge side of your pump. And that's causing the pump to overwork itself. If your pump is cycling, not running smooth, that can burn the pressure switch up as well. So pressure switch failures kind of lead me to think you've got electrical issue, you're not giving enough power, or you've got a restriction point somewhere in the discharge side, which causes the same symptoms. So if it's always a pressure switch, start looking in those areas. Oh yeah, this clear braid stuff, it's actually fine. A lot of guys, like, they want that colored hose. I like the clear braid. It's the same damn hose, it's just clear. I like it because when we're running it, I can look, I'm holding the gun in my hand. I can look back behind me and physically see when Kim is coming because our surfactant is so bright. So it's a real visual indicator. I just look back a few feet behind me, and I'm like, all right, there's Kim. And then 1 second later, it's coming out of the gun. But as far as durability, this stuff's great. It's fine. We've used it for years on suction side stuff, and we'll sometimes use it on discharge side stuff as well. Justin French, bro, out there cleaning them silos. Todd Ketchow, super pumped. I know that's like the dad joke of the year for me. Is the head serviceable? Yeah, we already talked about that. So yeah, man, I'm on month 8 right now with an Everflow at that, right? So yeah, it just depends on how you take care of them. We'll have guys, what I'm probably going to do is give $1,000 giveaway to the first guy that can run one and get a year out of it, just so we can prove it, you know, on an actual wash truck running every day. So let me cut this dude back on. We're gonna spray it again, little old spray it a little bit and see what she does. Dude, this is my policing light. This is a cloud defense. That sun gun right there get hot. It'll get hot. You can't even hold it. It ain't really good on traffic stops because it gets hot so quick. You can't hold the thing. So here's the trick. I've got to hold a camera, cut that switch on, and grab this gun before I get soaking ass wet. Clint said, hey, I'm telling you, bro. I love that cat, dude. I'm a cat guy. I don't give a damn if it's weird or not. I love them. My cat in there right now. She ain't got off the couch all day. Here we go. Look at that. It's just immediate. Vertical straight up height on the Super 8. So I'm calling it a 3+ story system. You probably hit 4 stories on a good day. Sweet 16 is a 4 to 5 story system, and I've shot over a 5-story building with a 16. We did that on camera, so it's, I'm hedging a little bit. You probably could say 5 to 6 stories, really, but I always like to kind of be conservative on my numbers. Vertical straight up, like on a foot, I haven't measured that yet like I have this one. I see Micah out there peeking. You see how far away the lawnmower is, so we're shooting past the mower a good bit. It's kind of neat, to be able to push around. Like you can move water with it easy. It's a traditional Softwash one, like we've always built. You get a little more power out of that because it's a straight shot through. But I like the gun. It's nice. Come here, dog. Let's see if we can drown a dog. Toxoplasmosis from cats. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. I ain't never got nothing from mine. We got several cats. They're just sweethearts. And I like Prince. He's Alyssa's dog, but he's retarded. But he's a very pretty German Shepherd. Come here, buddy. Prince, come here. I don't know why he's being so weird. I think his shock collar may be shocking him around here. There he goes. Get it, cuz. He ain't got no sense. He'll do that. It'll be 5 degrees outside. It'll be soaking wet. Don't care. Dude's crazy. He ain't got no sense. That's a pretty fat screen. Yeah, you can get, really, if you want to go a little cheaper on the battery, you don't have to get this big one like I got in here. That's a big battery brand. The brand is called Big Battery. There's another company called Epic. They're based in Atlanta, and their batteries are really cool as well. And they're 24-volt single bank. So it's one battery, but it's a 24-volt battery, and it's lithium. And those are about $900 and something, which is still, still a lot, but it's cheap. It's cheap in the long run after you do the math. Really, in 6 months, it'll almost be paid for itself. So those are good option for the Super 8 because it's not pulling about half as much juice as the 16, and an Epic single bank would be fine for that. On the big boy, you could run that, but you'd have reduced runtime. And look, it don't really matter. Like, you still got plenty of runtime. I'm just trying to... You guys know how I have to do. We got all the haters, and so I have to damn near build the type. I have to build an infinity gauntlet just so people will say it's like, yeah, it might work. So I always go like way overbuilt because I just know we're gonna get people are really critical of everything we do because of who we are. So I always go kind of crazy on the metrics if I can. Look, you can't let it go. Ain't gonna let it go. get away from you. You ain't gonna just set it down, by God. It's cool, man. Pretty fun. I'm gonna go back in the house, boys. I've never had as much fun spraying things. We had some guys that ain't 16 gallons a minute. What the hell it ain't? That come from the freaking laboratory numbers. Like, we don't just make it up. And we do our own, you know, bucket test and stuff like that. But the way they do that is it's just open flow. They set it over a big container and let it suck in and just dump out of the pump with no barbs on the outlet or anything. Catch it all, and then they measure that. Because every time you put a turn in it, you're losing. Well, that's just natural. I mean, that's just how physics works. So it's 16 gallons a minute when it's wide open. Base plates are all stainless steel, and then these are powder coated black. Most of them will probably just be the stainless version. We'll probably have a couple of color variants and stuff like that. So stainless steel base plate, stainless steel hardware. We may do some titanium hardware on the screws. Motor runs cold. Hit it with a temperature laser after, you know, run it straight for 3 hours, and it won't be nowhere near the max operating temperature of the motor. All that stuff's been thoroughly tested. I mean, we're 18 months. We're way into this project. So that's all the stuff that nobody gets to see. They think we just like cooked it up one Friday and it was done on Monday. Like, no, dude, this thing was getting engineered for a year before we ever talked about it, just to make sure it was right and all that stuff. It just has to be that way. And I was really adamant that this has got to be stainless steel, because I ain't gonna have that thing rusting up on dudes that look like hell out there and, you know, getting bleach overspray and stuff on it. All the barbs, they're custom. See if I can get up here on the truck. So the barbs are custom. And I had somebody on a live or something saying, they got you with them custom barbs. Dude, the barbs will be on the site for a couple of bucks. It'll come with the barbs. But if you need a spare, like, it ain't no money for the barbs. But the reason they're custom is because they go way back to about right here on the pump head. So you get double engagement and 2 O-ring seals instead of just one, because it is creating so much pressure. And I have debated about changing this plumbing up a little bit. I can make that look cleaner with a different style clamp, but then you don't have the field serviceability of just a standard hose clamp. So I'm probably, for the sake of the dude out in the field, just gonna leave it a standard hose clamp so he can, you know, mess with stuff if he needs to. This is how we like to bolt everything down, with studs, permanent mounted studs coming through wherever you're going to put it, and then you just drop the pump in place. That means you can just take the pump off when you need to. Anderson plug, heavy gauge wire, and the Anderson plugs are a lot more chemical resistant. It's a good solid connection for a big piece of hardware like that. Yeah, bro, a 4-story apartment, it'll do it all day, man. You ain't gonna have no problem hitting a 4-story apartment. Yeah, race cars, because you don't have to fool with alternators. Shaving weight off. My Lotus was like that. Little bitty battery, lithium. How often do you charge your batteries? Well, on this one with that big expensive battery, I haven't charged it in 2 weeks. But I'm not running it, you know, hours at a time. I'm running it 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there. But I think I covered all that earlier, so you just have to go back and rewatch some of this. It's simple though. How is the speed controller coming? Well, it's done. We're just waiting on them to get here. We've done all the work on them, so they're sending me all those electronics, but it's completed. And they'll look the same, so the only thing that you'll be able to tell the difference on them is obviously reading the description on the website when you're purchasing one. But if you're looking at 2 super pumps, one will have a knob on top. So the box goes right here in this little cavity. It'll mount right here, mount to this plate, but it'll be sitting right here where my flashlight's at. And on the top, about right there, there's a knob. If you see a knob, that's the motor control version. If you don't see a knob, it's just smooth on top of the case, the electronics case, then that's the standard version. So all that stuff's done. H Hunts, I'm assuming you're probably new to the channel, dude, and I've covered a lot of this in some other videos, but I ain't gonna rehash it because all these guys, 105 dudes, already heard me say it just a minute ago. But they're on pre-order. Oh, god dang, broke my damn kidney. They're on pre-order right now. They've been on pre-order since the trade show back in August. But my goal was to get them out the door in Q1. March is Q1, and it looks like we are going to be able to hit that. I honestly expected to get some of them out the door in February, but didn't happen. It's always more delays. Even if you factor in like knowing there'll be a delay, there's still another delay. So if you want to grab one now on pre-order, as soon as we get them, they're going to be going out. As soon as we get the last couple of components, we're building them ourselves in the shop, and they'll be going out. Now, after that, it's another little wait, and some more will be going out. So, you know, by the middle of the spring, it'll be full-fledged steam rolling them. They'll be coming in, going out. But this is something that's going to have a big demand in the industry. So we're going to go through thousands of pumps this year, getting them out the door, and guys grabbing them, because I think a lot of guys have realized that it's a much better option to stay in the electric family as long as you can get the performance. That's the linchpin. So either way you want to do it, bro, if you want to get one on pre-order, you can go over to the site right now and order it, and all those pre-order guys will be getting the first allotment. And then if you want to wait till they're in stock, you know, I get that. I get that too. But it's just totally up to you. I just don't know like hard dates as to when the next 1,000, doing them 1,000 at a time on parts, because it's a lot to order and warehouse and set on and all that stuff. 16 or the 8 been more popular in terms of pre-orders? Well, that's a really good question, but I can't, there's really no data, because the 16's been on pre-order for much longer than the 8 has. We didn't even talk about the 8 for a few months. But having said that, they're running about neck and neck. So a lot of guys are getting the 8s too, and they're basically half of a Sweet 16, right? It's the math. So a lot of dudes have gotten Super 8s, but I'd say it's probably 50-50 really. The benefit we got is we didn't start out to design the Super 8 at all. Wasn't even on my mind initially. But when we built the Sweet 16, you know, a lot of time goes by. You go to a trade show, like we didn't even talk about a Super 8 at the trade show. But the benefit is once you do a lot of that legwork, then you can start building other variants of the same, I don't know why I'm showing you a lawnmower, but other variants of the same R&D. So we can take all the research and development, the money we spent and the time, and say, okay, well, what else can we build? So for example, there will be the Super 8 for our world. There will be a Super 8 with no pressure switch components on it at all. It will be a bypass style pump, and that'll go to the agriculture world. We've already got some going there. So like farmers and stuff. If you guys ever buy Softwash pumps and you're not paying attention, I've done it before. Get in a hurry, get on there and order you another pump, and you don't realize that you're purchasing a bypass model pump, because those pump companies, they'll make demand is what we want with a pressure switch. That means when you pull the trigger, it comes on, you let off the trigger, it shuts itself off. Demand, pressure switch, got a system on it. The bypass versions are a little cheaper because you don't have the electronics piece, but that just means when you cut them on, they on. And that's what ag uses a lot, because when they're not spraying on whatever they're spraying out on the farm, when they're not active on the boom or whatever the device is, it automatically goes back to the tank and stirs the tank up. Pest control can use bypass style pumps. Pump look just about the same, other than the lack of the pressure switch. And you know, so if you go to their website and you're not really looking, I've done it before and ordered, like, damn it, I ordered bypass pumps. Can't use those. We can't use them because what we do is we pull through a system of metering valves, right? And we pull raw chemicals out of their tanks. We make a mix at the blend station, the blend manifold, and then we spray. Well, when we stop spraying, we can't send that back to the tank, because we would be, what tank you gonna send it to? You'd be cross-contaminating your tank, which is one of the big pitfalls that the gas-powered systems have always had, is when you're going to let off the gun at some point, well, what are you going to do with that mix? And so they would put those bypass loops, you know, 25, 30 foot of hose under the trailer somewhere to act as a basically a radiator, a bypass loop of hose, because it's got to go somewhere. And it can churn on itself for a second, but you can't do that for a long period of time. You'll overheat the pump. So all that to say, we've got Super 8 pressure switch activated for our world, bypass mode pumps for other applications, Sweet 16s, and we've got a couple of other variants that we'll be working on for other industries as well. So yeah, that's, you know, a lot of pumps. So we didn't initially plan on that. We were just making the big one because that was the big problem that needed to be solved for soft washing. Is guys want power, and they're doing all kind of dumb stuff to get the power. So like, okay, if we can get them the power and an electric solution that makes sense on all the maintenance, makes more sense on all the other parameters, right? If we can do that, we're going to have a home run here. So that was the goal, and that's what we got. And it's a bad dude. Yeah, dude, the Northern Tool pump, I'm gonna be really, really glad to replace those with our own. And those have been a good placeholder pump, but they've just got gremlins, and they're not dialed in like they could have been. You know how when you jump, look, I'm 36. All right, I know some of y'all about my age. You know how when we were kids and you jump off of something like that and you didn't, this wasn't nothing. Hell, you jump off the roof. Now, cuz I jump off of that, and if my leg is straight, it feel like my right kidney just popped like a gummy bear. And I don't know why. It just be hurting. So I'm definitely getting to that age. That's really sad. It just seems like 2 weeks ago, we were ordering Bigfoot pizzas on Friday nights, watching Family Matters and America's Funniest Home Videos, and preparing for Y2K, and now here we are, you know, messing around almost old. That's crazy, ain't it? Clint, we do have a 10-gallon on Hoff Power skid, and I don't know that he's ever ran out of water with it, so it could be done. It would depend on your area. Like this house, this is the house we're leasing over here on the lake. This house got insane flow, like crazy water coming out of it. So it just depends, I guess, on your... Yeah, the 8's plenty, bro. Plenty. RPC, I didn't realize you were 63, cuz. But dude, you old school. RPC, man. Kelly's, he's different, man. He's from that generation and just did not give a damn. Like, they didn't even factor in being tired. It didn't matter. You just operated. Are you tired? I don't know. I could be tired. I ain't thought about it. I ain't had time to think about that shit. And I run that way a lot. My dad's that way. The benefit is you get a lot of shit done. You do get a lot of shit done. Most folks are my age or younger, they just lazy. They ain't got no drive in them. We run 8 and a 10 at the same time on my trailer and are always fine. And Justin's got a 200-gallon water tank. So, you know, I think you'd typically be okay unless you're out in the boonies on wells and stuff all the time. Catch y'all. We are getting old, bro. We are. Todd's a little bit older than me, I think, but not a whole lot. I saw you doing, Kelly, I saw you doing a huge building. I hadn't watched that video yet. I saved it for later. Doing a big ass, that was the title you said, doing big ass build. But Todd was up in the skunk lair with us the other day at Serious Starter Boot Camp. We scheming, plotting even. Coming up with some cool ideas for in the future. Cool stuff going on. It's a pretty night, man. Got some stars out. We really like living over here on the lake. It's different. We're 39 minutes to work. I actually like being a little further away from work. It gives me some decompression time when I leave the shop. 32 feels like 60. Yeah, I know. What's up, Perez? What up, bro? Turning 36 this year. Oh my gosh, cuz you got kids under 5? God almighty. My kids are all nearly grown. The boys they'll be 17 this year, this August. Now Alyssa's 22. But our situation's kind of unique. So but I'm glad they're older, because I'm way past the patience level for little kids. What up? There's Hoff Power right there. You got hogs going tonight, dude. Hey, you need to come to the next series. I just assumed you knew you got an open invite whenever you want to come to the boot camp. You probably don't need it, but you feel free to come, dude. We gave him that skid a year and a half ago. And I told him he could go to WashCon, but we ain't gonna do a WashCon this year. We're just doing the smaller events this year. I know, Kelly, I missed you the last time because I was in a class when you picked up that skid. Oh, me. I couldn't imagine having some little kids. We've thought about adopting again, but the boys are to the age now where they're kind of like helpful. I can get them to do stuff, especially Preston. Preston's pretty slick. Preston's pretty slick. Mike is a comedian. He's got more personality, I guess. Preston's like a piece of Wonder Bread. He is white. He is all the way down white. Why you follow me, dude? Get back with your I Am Legend looking ass, man. Get on now. He just walks around and breathes on you, man. See? The cats don't do this. Prince, what are you doing, cuz? What are you doing, bro? Tell him, hey, you get on somewhere, man. Go lay down. You make me nervous. All these grown-ass men in here know what I'm talking about. You just make me nervous. You just always, like, just sit the hell down. He won't let you pet him. Hey, man. But he is beautiful. He purdy, but he's just dumb. Hey, you smell like a wet dog. Frickin' liar. Is that capuchin? French, yeah, man, let me know. Hey, I got to get you, Hoff Power, Rusty Townsend, a bunch of you guys. Ty's going to be getting with y'all and scheduling you if you want to do it with me. I want to do some interviews on the channel. Just a bunch of my guys that, I know I can jive with on camera, and just, it's something I've been wanting to do for like the past 4 years, but do an interview, 10 minutes, give your story, the equipment, talk about it, how much success you've had, all that kind of stuff. It would benefit me a lot because I got testimonials, because I don't do good with that. Like I just move on to the next thing. So I got tired, we got like a list in the shop on a whiteboard of like, hey, who are all the dudes that we know that ain't dumb, can talk on camera? Because a lot of these guys that have got equipment, they're just real quiet type, and we get on camera and they don't want to be on camera. So I know Hoff Power would probably be down for it. True Seeker, what up? No, yes, I did give the ass chewing, but I didn't put your name in there. So I honestly think it might have been Mike or Preston that built that skunk check valve backwards. It's easy to do if you're not looking, but we already had a picture of a skunk check valve assembled correctly over there at the workstation, because it is so easy to build them upside down. So there's a reference photo. It's been up there for freaking almost a year, but they get in there and get in a hurry, and they're not, you flip them around, they look identical. So you got to look at the directional arrow and make sure you put it together right. Dude, it's like, I like the dog. I do. He's probably the second best dog we've ever had. We had a yellow lab. We had a yellow lab when I was in my 20s, and he was great. Are you pissing? He is pissing on his dog bone. See that? That right there is why I'm a cat person. I say that was dumb. That don't make no sense. Why would you do that? And then later you're gonna try to get me to throw that for you, and that's why I don't mess with you. Go on, run off in the sunset. He's silly. Kelly, I'll let you know too, bro. I'll get you on there. I think that'd be good as well, because you got the first Gen 2, and you got a channel. So I'm trying to find guys I know that like will post content and can talk on camera and stuff. There's one of the boys right there. Hey, come here. That's Mikey right there. That's Mikey and Preston. What's up, Sammy? What's up, Sammy? See, Sam don't piss on his own toys. He just peed on that dog bone and then ran away.
Did he pick it back up?
No, I'm not sure that he knew he was peeing on the dog bone. I don't know if that's better or worse, but I don't think he knew. Tell the guys howdy.
Howdy.
Softwash there. Hey, Softwash there. Interview Hodges for you. I've had to do that from jail. I ain't seen an article, nothing about that whole situation. Every once in a while I'll Google it and try to see if I can find any info, but it's just like nothing's out there. And I feel bad for all the guys that were caught up in that, you know. And honestly, I feel bad for him too, because I'm sure he didn't set out to be that, you know, but he was. And so he got to take accountability for what he did, for sure. But I just hate the whole situation was just jacked up. But that's what happens. You don't do stuff right. It'd be like that sometime. Yeah, dude, I've looked and checked on it every once in a while. I know, like, you know, he was big on Justin's comment here. I hope that we put, look at him, whooped his ass. You see that? I hope we put the vibe off that I want to put off. We'll sell you something, but we're not needy, you know? Like, we're not going to hound you a lot about it. He said, man, get on, man, cram. Now, my sales guys, it is their job to follow up, just like you guys. If you got a house wash client or a roof cleaning client and they don't get on the schedule, your job is to follow up and try your best to close them. You're supposed to close. But at the same time, I don't want to come off with the vibe of being needy, you know, and like really hounding a guy for a sale. We'll call him a few times, email him a few times, and then we're moving on to the next, because we know our stuff's dialed in and we don't need every customer. God dang hiccups. He's talking about Sean Hodges, Arkansas. That was just a huge debacle. Not fun. It's bad for everybody involved. I'm gonna tell you what, Hoffpower missed his calling. That dude, he should have been a comedian, because you make me laugh pretty consistently, and I'm fairly quick-witted. But you got that wit. I'm gonna give you that. You got it. You need to do some stand-up comedy down there in Baton Rouge. See this? I know most everybody in here is a dad, probably. Most of the guys that watch the channel are probably dads. I want y'all to tell me if you got this same magic device at your house. This here is the great, amazing trash can that has magical powers. So you don't actually have to wheel it up to the road on the correct day. There's Reggie right there. I was wondering if he was gonna chime in. But Reggie, you ain't gotta take this trash can on the road. Damnedest thing. You could just keep putting shit in it and kind of mash on a little bit, and at some point it'll fix itself. You come back and it'll be empty. But what they don't know is Dad will dig out about 3 bags and take them to the shop and throw them in the dumpster at the shop. So I think that they think that this is how it's supposed to go. I'm talking about the kids. They think, because you see some shit falling out. That'd be old milkshake lids right there. It really sucks, because at our old house we had 2 trash cans. We move over here and we ain't got but 1, and they too many of us for 1 trash can. It gets full like a day after the trash runs. Silly. Y'all so stupid. Y'all so stupid. I ain't even read Happy's comments, so y'all ain't got no sense. What's the base price for the enclosed trailer? It's probably gonna be right around 40. So if you want to get one or get some info on one, just get with the sales team next week. They'll hook you up and give you some info. And Mo, if you want to go with the lithiums, get the Epic. It's EPOCH 24-volt lithium battery. You can just get one and it'll do what you're looking for it to do. That's the cheapest good way to do it. If you want to wire up, you know, you could buy 4 12-volt deep cycle regular AGM batteries, wire 2 of them together to make 24 volts, wire the other 2 together to make 24 volts, and then run both of those together as a large bank of 24 volts. You could do it that way and you'd be in it for $400, you know, and you'd have a couple hundred amp hours. But personally, I would just if I'm gonna do all that, I'd just spend a little bit more and get lithium and get the warranty. The 10-year thing is nice. Hey, hell yeah, dude. If you find you somewhere we'll set you up. We need a vendor down in that area. We've got some in Florida. We're trying to grow our vendor network. That's what Ty's all about, is growing the vendor network. Our wholesale guys, we got a good many. Got a guy, I got a Zoom meeting with him next week for Australia location. So that'll be cool. They got a lot of need over there. It's not a lot of equipment because it's nowhere near the States. Hey, well, the hell, there's the guy from Australia right there. It's another guy. What's up, Jason? Ghost hunter. Well, I don't know, bro. You keep them ghostesses down there in Sydney, cuz I don't like ghostesses. You can't shoot them. You feel me? I ain't scared of a whole lot if I can shoot at it. But you can't poke no hole, no ghostesses. So you can keep them. But no, we've got a guy. It's Nick Hopkins in Australia that's setting up as a Southeast vendor there, so that'll be an international wholesale guy. Ty and I need to open a repair shop for these folks. Well, yeah, you probably just wind up wanting to jump off of a cliff, though. It's hard. Hard nosed, but you a good dude. I appreciate it, man. I am. I don't the guys that have followed me for a few years kind of tell you I don't take a lot of shit, but I don't like look for it either, you know, like I never shoot first. That's the thing. I'm too busy to shoot first, but what'll happen a lot of times is somebody will make a snarky comment and I just burn them down and they can't believe that I would do that. They're like, oh, you're not being professional. I'm like, well, you're a company too. And you're talking smack about my company, because all the guys are, you know, they're in business for themselves. So they're a company and they get pissy and they talk crap. Well, if they talk crap, I'll talk crap. But then they're just like flabbergasted. He's not professional. Like, I wasn't shooting at professional. I was shooting at trying to get fucking rich. Now, in the process of that, I do try to be as professional as I can. But being professional is usually code for roll over and let me step on you. And since I'm the customer, I can say whatever, do whatever, act like whatever. And I just don't believe in that. But the times where, you know, we do screw up, because we do. We're humans and, you know, we screw up. Everybody screws up. We try our best to make it right and take care of the guy and go, you know, above and beyond, square it up for him. As long as that is the case, then I sleep great at night. But you know, it comes across wrong to a lot of people that don't see the whole picture. They just see those little snippets, but it's all planned. It's, you know, I never do that. I never go hard on somebody unless they instigate it, because I just ain't gonna do that. But if they poke at it, now I will poke back. I would do that. But the fact is, you know, I looked at this yesterday. We're 5 years in business, built thousands of rigs, done tens of millions of dollars in revenue, and we're 4.9 stars, 600 reviews on Google. And that's after last year Google took about 50 reviews off. They just randomly one day I lost like 50 reviews. So, you know, call it 650 reviews. I think we're at 4.8 on Facebook, a couple hundred reviews over there. So here's what I know the market's telling me through that platform, those platforms, that I have to be doing something right, because as controversial as I am and as hardline as I take to still hold about the best rating you can get, that means that we have to be doing the right thing in mass. So I don't let it bother me too much, but you know, I do try to, I've had people try to talk crap about my employees and stuff. And it's just a lot of times, guys, I'll tell you where that comes from. They're usually broke. And it's like the guy that buys something, you know, a pump, example, Rimco, and it dies in a month, and he's like mega upset. Truly, he really should just be upset with himself because he didn't take care of his pump. But it's hard to do that. It's easier to just take it out on the pump company or the part, whatever, you know, whatever it is. Like we had a guy, here's a good example. We had a guy order a bunch of Kims, and yeah, dude, and I'm just messing around. But so this dude ordered like 3 cases of Kims, and hell, we shipped them, right? You know where we shipped them to? The place that he had in his order. Well, he had ordered stuff from us before, and in the meantime, he had moved. He moved, and he didn't go back into his account and update his address. When he placed that second order, he just left all of his old info in there. Yeah, I get it. Hell, I probably would have done the same thing. Didn't think nothing about it, right? So we shipped the 3, I think it was 3 cases of Kims. We ship them, get an email from him like a week later. Hey, I never got my stuff, but the tracking says it was delivered. So we start digging into it and talking back and forth with him, figure out what happened. Like, oh, dude, we mailed it to this address. No, that ain't where I live. I'm like, well, why? What happened? Because we don't put the address in the order. Like, you have to put that in when you place the order yourself. So dude was just not going to admit that he had the wrong address in his freaking shipping section when he placed the order. And he wanted me to ship him some more Kims. And he was mad as hell. Well, this is bullshit. Y'all gotta ship me some more Kims because your obligation is to get them to me. Get what I bought to me. I'm like, well, first of all, go to hell. See, I had to start right there with him because he's not talking in logic land. Like, this is a crazy person at this point. Like, this is insanity. If I took me 100 dudes and explained that situation, you wouldn't get one of them to agree with him. So what a lot of companies would do is just ship him the Kims, you know, in order to not cause a fuss and all that. No, I like a good fuss. Like, I like a fight, especially when I'm right. So Brian, my new GM, you know, he's still kind of feeling us out at that point. He's like, what should we do? I said, tell him to fuck off. That's what we're going to do. Like, I ain't doing shit for him because you ain't going to come at me sideways like that. Like, you ordered it. We shipped it to exactly where the hell is you said you wanted it to go. That's on you if you didn't remember. Now, if he'd have called in and it's like, God dang, I sent it to the wrong place. You know what I probably would have done? Gave him a coupon code for him to reorder. That's what I probably would have done. Because still ain't our fault, but it's all in how you approach stuff. But people are so spoiled nowadays, and I know you guys get it. There's 82 people on the live right now. I know you guys get it because you're all in business too. And those homeowners will do the same thing to you. They'll want a house wash, you get done, and they want to know why you didn't do gutter brighten, or why you didn't do pure water window cleaner, or why you didn't do the driveway. And you're like, well, because that ain't what you paid for or even asked for. Well, and then there they go, making up some BS kind of crap that don't make any logical sense to nobody. So what do you do in that moment? It's easier in that moment to roll over, do the job, get the check, move on, and just be mad, you know, tell your wife when you get home. I don't roll like that. I'm gonna address it right the hell now. I'm gonna tell them no, we're gonna hold the line. Because what you do if you keep catering to that kind of behavior is you get the society that we have today that thinks that they can protest in the street, act out, you know, shut down stuff, and then you've got to acquiesce to them. No, I don't think so. They make brush guards. That Lexus 4-wheel drive. I ain't stopping. I ain't letting off the gas. And I'll deal with whatever happens on the back end. I know how to say, I was in fear for my life, officer. And so I had slapped the hell through that blockade right there. So I don't stop at the blockades is what I'm saying. I just go through them. Because as long as I know that I'm not in the wrong, why am I going to stop? People they roll over too easy. It used to not be like that. People didn't act that way. They didn't, you know, like my grandparents' generation, probably go back one more, like my great-granddad on both sides. Those guys were the nicest men in the world, dude. The nicest people in the world. Reggie said, no, sir. They were the nicest men in the world. Like, they built America. They give you shirt off their back. But you also did not fuck with them. You know, like, just watch any of those old movies. Like, they did not go out of their way to cause nothing, but they wasn't gonna just let nothing be either that tried to come their way. And that's how it should be. We're all dudes. I bet you there ain't a single female, maybe one watching right now, one or two. Guys have a contract with each other that ends with a fist fight if it goes wrong. Like, that's how it used to be. High school, boys getting a disagreement, coach throw them some boxing gloves, they go in there and duke it out, and you know what? They be best friends after that. Well, we can't do that no more. Okay, well, you keep on implementing that mentality, and you got a bunch of people that don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to handle disputes. So what it does is it puts the companies, quote, quote, you're a company. So we've invented this list of rules that companies have to just bend over and take it from the customer. Customer's always right. I don't know who come up with that, but they need their ass whipped. Sometimes the customer's right. Sometimes the company's right, right? Who's right? And that's what I want to find out. Who's in the right? And if I'm in the wrong, dude, not a problem. Roger that. Like, I've killed a bush before. Go clean this roof right here and don't do nothing about that downspout. You might be okay because the root of this, the middle of this is way over there. But we're going to flood that downspout. And if I don't and that dies, I ain't got a problem replacing it in the world. But if I walk around and do my pre-inspection and that shit already dead, and then they try to get me to replace it a month from now, and I go back in my quote IQ and well, let's see, I think that bush was already dead. Yep, sure was. Here it is documented. Guess what I'm going to tell them? Pound sand. I'm not your pressure washer / your damn free landscaper, right? Because the problem is, if you do that all the time for those type of customers, if that's your modus operandi and that's how you deal with those type of customers, you have used all of your customer service to give a damn on the wrong people. What I do is I save all that give a damn for the people who actually have a legit problem, and then those people can't believe how good we treat them when we screw up. They're like, dang, yeah, they messed up that little old thing, and I wasn't too worried about it, and they sent me a new one and some Kims and a coupon and apology, and like, this is the best company in the world. But I get to do that because I've saved the care, the money, you know, but also just the energy as well. Yeah, I gotta go in here and see what the boys are doing. Hope y'all have a great night, man. It's a pretty night out here. It's gonna be too cold. Maybe we're getting into spring. March is gonna be a big month for a lot of guys making a lot of money. Gonna be a good March, I believe, man. Well, High Power, you are scary because you like the High Power, like the Cajun Sasquatch. But I'm telling you something now. That son cooked some crawfish. My guys still talk about that. They cannot believe that we got that much crawfish. I was like, he bringing crawfish. He weighed it out like the cartel. He weighed it in pallets. It was crazy. It was a good day. Guys, I appreciate it. Brewski Pit, California dudes. Hey, just hang in there, bro. Don't let them get you, cuz. Don't let the communists get you. Hope y'all have a great weekend, guys. We're going to get up and go to church in the morning. We got a little bit of a drive to get down there, so we're going to do that tomorrow. And then we'll be back at it Monday with bells on, ready to do it to it. Peace out.